Yes, congratulations to Kukla's family. I believe it was her niece just welcomed a new baby to the world yesterday. We'll have to get the details. Hello, PolyColly72Z. Hello, Intercessor. Hello, Sluggo and Flight Level. Hello, Miss Debbie. Hello, Miss Lisa in Texas. As we wrap up 2025, it's a good time to slow down and reflect on the year. If there's one thing we've all learned, it's that uncertainty isn't temporary. It's the world we live in now. Waiting for things to go back to normal isn't a plan, it's a gamble. For over a decade, my friends at Noble Gold Investments have helped Americans protect themselves and the people they love by diversifying their wealth with gold and silver. Look, no one knows what 2026 will bring, but one thing's for certain: in an uncertain world, real wealth isn't digital, it's physical, it's lasting, and it's yours. So when you're sitting around the table this holiday season, surrounded by family, remember the best gift you can give isn't under the tree, it's peace of mind. And that's what Noble Gold delivers: peace of mind, 1 ounce at a time. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com to get your free wealth protection kit. Before the year ends, take that one smart step towards your future. You can find them at MarkZgold.com, noblegoldinvestments.com. Don't leave your future to chance. Hello, Farmer V. Hello, M.M. Staten in Benton, Arkansas. Hello, Fred. Clint, Captain Peggy. The original Laney Davis, Jessup, Stang Racer. As Mr. C puts it, the score is still 0-0. That was his check-in this morning. Hello, Colleen. Not a whole lot of news on bonds, etc. Still very quiet going into. We should have Matt and Lucas at any moment. So I just want to give you guys just a brief one so you know what you're chasing, what you're running, what we're going to be talking about today. We do have some interesting things coming out of Iraq and a new foreign policy of massive change in direction for the United States and how they are going to deal with both the Middle East and the world. And I think that is going to be kind of telling. I think it very much probably fits in with what we believe Nasser Jassera looks like. So we'll talk about that some this morning. Some of the over censorship with authoritarian Nazi-ish world that Europe seems to be descending into. Yep, I've got that on my list for Matt today. And of course, I know it's going to be a shocker. We'll talk about some of the corruption left over from the Obama administration. Every administration has them. Don't feel special when I get to pick on them on this one. See if there's any other fun stuff. I saw this one. I thought this one was fantastic. My main man, George, I do like Be Easy, guys. I like his take on things. Interesting fella. Said breaking, Home Depot has started giving out free training to Americans who want to work in HVAC, carpentry, electricity, and construction. The classes are self-paced. Student will earn certifications they can use on their resumes. I love that. I like that when Minnesota fraud keeps growing. Lucas, the sick Lucas beats Matt.
Hey, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Stop and cough a little bit there. Allergies are, of course, I don't know. Everybody around me is having a cold. I'm just choosing to face.
Man, and I am starting to feel like a little bit better. Still not really great at all. But then last night, I kind of had to rally. Took a long nap and tried to, because they had a huge parade. So I'm like, yeah, like the kids really wanted to go. And I was like, you know what? Like I can be out for a couple hours and be miserable. That's what being a parent's all about.
I mean, Matt, what's your 2 cents? Lucas says being miserable is what being a parent's all about. Of course, he didn't quite put it that way. He said, sucking it up and doing what you got to do for the kids is what being a parent's all about.
You just do it without even thinking about it. And then you realize when you don't have kids how really strong you were because, I'm in that situation now. I don't have any kids at home, so I was laying there last night thinking about, man, some of the stuff I used to go through to get through the day, doing the kids, all the stuff, making the money, doing everything. I mean, yeah, you just got to bust your ass. You did it, Mark. Lucas does it. And, man, there was days where I worked at night where, man, I couldn't even lift my head off the bed until 3 in the afternoon because of migraines and shit, because that was before the CBD world. And, man, I don't even know how I made it, but you just go to work, You take
Times you fall
Tylenol.
asleep coming in late from work, boots in your hand, and you wake up on the steps still holding your work boots. Yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah, you just do it, man. And
Just
that's
do
what
it.
it's about, being a good parent. I'm just saying that I'm not trying to put Lucas over. I'm just saying that everybody does it, You have to do it.
So why are
Shit.
you putting Lucas over? No, it's just it's a testament to the sacrifice that parents have to make.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yep. And yeah. And then you feel better about it. And then when you're there, it don't feel so bad. You see the kids laugh and do whatever, right? Is that what happened, Lucas? They're laughing, having a good time, and you just
Oh,
kind
they
of
were
forget about it.
just, oh my gosh, it was so much fun, so good. And I was miserable, but at the same time, it's kind of like, yeah, physically you're miserable, but at the same time, you're still having a good time and you can kind of separate the two.
All right, but did anybody lick a doorknob
No, no,
or any of those things? I mean, did we nobody stuck a tongue on a lamppost that wasn't that cold?
no, no, no. I was like, you guys, like, and the thing is, like,
Uh,
they've done it before, and it's like, after I tell them that, and then they get sick, they put two and two together. They're like, oh yeah, like that's why I got sick. And then like a year later, they totally forget, like, oh, like why can't I put my mouth on this? And it's like then they get sick again. It's like, oh my gosh. Like, but then I think back, I'm like, I probably was just as bad. Like, I probably did the exact same thing stupidly 20 times in a row before I learned.
Oh, can I tell you how many people reached out yesterday to tell me just how much fun and how hard they laughed yesterday morning
Oh
in
my
our
gosh.
conversation? But or I mean, I got a lot of folks commenting, emailing, people calling me, telling me how much fun they had with you guys yesterday morning.
It was a
That
good
was
time.
great.
yeah, it's always a good time being on the show here for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
did not even need to do any sit-ups or crunches yesterday. Got all the exercise with belly laughs. That was the best.
Yep.
Love it.
Yeah, I remember listening to your show at the beginning, Mark. I'd be out driving at night, and that's where I found you. I remember the first time I listened, I think you had like 37 people on there. And probably one of those days where I had a headache all day, and then I just got going, took some Tylenols. I don't take
Right.
those anymore, hardly, barely, But, and then you just get going, and I'd have to listen to other stuff while I'm driving because otherwise I would have been just sunk, I would have probably felt crummy, So anyways, that helped. Because you used to be on at night, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I used to. Well, yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was. I thought I was listening live. Maybe I wasn't. I don't know. Who
Yeah, there's
knows?
a good chance you were because I used to do like pretty much every night at 7 p.m.
Okay, that's what it was then. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's cool. Well, anyway, say, should we get the specials over and then
Yeah,
if you
I think
still
it's a
want me
great
to tell you
idea.
the story for sure, I'll tell you, So the not I don't want to get into the crude stories. We'll save that for a whiskey show. I'll get 3 of them right in a row the last 15 minutes. But if you wanted to do that other one you were talking about, that's cool. But we'll do the
We'll
specials
talk about that
first.
after we well, that's the question though. Kind of the question, Matt. Do you want to do that one after we do all the CBD related stuff before we do the news so you don't detract from people's questions, or do it in
Yeah,
between and handle it any way you want to do it?
Yeah, we can do it right now. Okay. So back in, I'll tell the story about when I met the guy when he was talking about the whole empire change, they called it. See, I had no idea what the RV was. I still don't know exactly what it is because it hasn't happened yet, but we'll find out. Anyways, the I picked up I used to be a limo driver, and I had my own company, and there was about 10 of us that worked downtown Minneapolis, and we used to roll back and forth, and the doorman would give us rides to the airport. You just sit there and guys would walk out and you just rock and roll all day long, do all your morning runs, and then at 8 o'clock, you just start hunkering by the hotels. So I was by the hotel one morning by the Hyatt, and a guy, the doorman says, "Hey man, I got a ride for you." That was right at the start of cell phone, so just pull up, and I see the guy, and I said, the first thing he asked me was, "Where's their luggage?" Because maybe they just got done eating breakfast with some guys, and their stuff was in the storage room. They hold their luggage till they leave for the airport, and he said, "I don't have anything." I said, "Okay, cool." And nothing, right? Nope, nothing. Because the last thing you want to do is get halfway to the airport and turn around and go get it again, But so, anyways, he gets in and I said, "Just you?" He goes, "Yeah." So I said, "Why don't you sit? You want to sit in front? We can just talk on the way." He goes, "Yeah, that'd be great." So he sits in the front seat. Usually the guy's sitting back, And so he's sitting there, and then I said, "What are you doing here in town?" He goes, "I was just here for a couple of days, no luggage, no nothing." So I don't know. He looked well dressed. He didn't look, if I was out on a trip for 2 days or whatever, I'd look dirty. You know what I mean? Because I'm not saying I spill food on myself. I think other people spilled on me. That's what I always tell people. But anyways, no. So, okay, back to the story. Okay. So now I said to the guy, I said, "So what do you do?" Because you always talk to the people. The more you talk to them while you're cruising with them, they good about their getting up in the morning, because I don't think anybody feels really good about it, running through the airport. So, to get a good tip. So start talking. And he starts telling me about, well, first of all, I said, "Where's all you don't have anything with you when you're doing your business?" He goes, "No, I just carry the Bible. That's it." And I go, "Wow, okay, cool. Oh, that's great." Uh, then I said, "Well, what are you doing?" He goes, "Well, I met with, it was Wells Fargo. I went down to the Federal Reserve." So now he starts talking all the big shots. He met with there's a couple of brokerages that used to be in Minneapolis, like stock brokerage outfits. And, so I'm thinking, "Oh boy, this guy's pretty high powered." So then I find out he works for the federal government. I said, who do you work for? And he goes, "Oh, I work for just the feds." And I go, "What do you do?" And he goes, "Well, I'm just kind of working with all the financial guys. We're just switching things over, getting ready to do things and this and that." And I said, "Well, what do you mean this and that?" We're talking. And he says, "Well, there's going to be, he said, I'll give it to you and then I'll tell you." And I said, "Okay, cool." So he says, "Yeah, there's going to be a switch over." And I said, "Well, when?" And this is 1995. And he goes, "Oh, probably in around 23. He says, "Right around then." And I'm kind of laughing. I'm thinking, okay, 20, okay, that's 28 years ahead of, I'm thinking, okay, cool. So I'll just ask him questions and let him roll. Like I said, always going for the tip. Anybody who drives out there and they're listening right now, and if there's a few people, you always know you're always doing a good thing for the customer, but you want to get the better they feel, the better tip you get. And when I used to have in the back, I'd have free beer for me, free drinks, and whatever they, not drinks, but like cans of pop or soda or whatever you call it, your part
Right.
of the country. And that gets you a better tip. I mean, it can get you anywhere from $5 to $10 more, depending on how many beers they have. And the beers, they're cheap because they got a little cooler built in back there in the back of the limo. Well, anyways, okay. So now, God, this story's getting long. So now he starts telling me about what he does, and I go, "Well, what division do you work for?" And he goes, maybe you call it the religious division." And I go, "Oh, okay, religious financial, right? Okay." And so then he starts telling me about the turnover in 23. And I said, "Well, what are you talking about?" He says, like what they call them, empires. He said, I'm just fighting for the word here because I'm getting old. And I go, yeah. He goes, like the British Empire, the Dutch Empire, the Roman Empire, this and that. He says, our empire time is ending. And I go, oh, okay. So now he says all the financial institutions are getting ready for it. And I said, boy, 28 years in the future, I said. And he goes, yeah. He says, we've been working on this since I've been, working with them. And I said, when's that been? He says, probably from the late 50s. Takes a while, to get things different. And I'm thinking, well, who's going to be in charge? That's a natural thing to ask. And he says, it's going to be the East. And I said, the East. And he goes, that's what he said. So I'm thinking in my head, Japan, China, I don't know. And now I learned, the BRICS. Okay. Was the BRICS even around in 95? I'm not even sure. Was it?
It was just becoming a thought.
Oh, okay. So now and we know what it is now. It's India, Russia, China, Vietnam, Indonesia, whatever, anything in that part of the world. Brazil, they're part of it. Who else is part of it? South Africa. I mean, they were the founding members, and now it's kind of branching all over the world. So, anyways, I said, boy, is this going to be bad? And he goes, no, it's going to be different. And I'm thinking, wow, I don't know what it is. I didn't even think about it again until I don't know, probably 2014. When I had some other friends approach me on just kind of what it was all about, and they told me about it and everything. Well, the bottom line is, he's told me that there'll be a switch over, and I said, what year? And he said, probably right around 23, right around there. Okay, well, now it's 25. Okay. Well, and the switch over to the us not being, okay, we're not going to be the head dog. We're not going to be the policeman in the world anymore. Does that mean it's going to be bad? No, that doesn't mean that at all. Okay. I think there's going to be more of a shared power on the political thing, not the political thing, but the shared power and rules. I mean, just what I've seen right now, there's going to be like rules. They'll be able to shut other countries down, whatever they want to do. Okay. And, but I heard about that back in 95. Did I know what it was at the time? No. Okay. Well, I kind of know what it is now. It's all in our face right now. In fact, and I was just watching something. I didn't want to get into what's happening now. Well, anyways, you know what? I'm just going to refer it to this. Okay. There's a shitload of stuff happening right south of us right now. I don't know if you've been following that, Mark and Lucas. Have you?
I have been.
Oh boy, I don't even want to bring it up because it's not my job to bring that up, but it's big time, and then you get the guys. You know what? I just seen. I said to myself before I was going to go on the show today. I said, how many gas cars is China going to produce this year? Yeah, I think people would be shocked that they're go sending around the world. It's going to be over 30 million. Okay. People don't even know that. 30 million. Yeah, they got a lot of electric, but they're not giving up on the gas and shit. Not at all. Because there's a problem there too. Because when you make all the electric cars, they found out that there's something they make them with that's running out. And that price is going way up right now. And it's going to go way, way up. But anyways, it's all going to tie in together, and it's hitting real fast here. So anyways, what the guy told me, I had no idea what he was talking about. I understand exactly what he was talking about now. And they've been working on this, you guys, for years and years. And he told me they've been working on it since the late 50s. So what are we in here? 42, 67, 70 years. Yeah. So, I mean, just be ready. The main thing is always be ready in your life, financially, just preparedness. Be ready, because we're going to have a good country and everything. We're just not going to be the, you know what? There's only one head dog in the world, just like there's a head dog, you see those videos where you have that. I think, Lucas, you got that big dog that can kill the wolves, doesn't it?
I mean, he's killed coyotes.
Yeah, but I mean, there's videos of that. Your kind of dog where there be
Was he a
10
Cane
wolves around
Corso?
him.
No, he's a Pyrenees, but he's like
Pyrenees.
171 pounds.
Oh,
He's a big sucker.
But they got that big mountain dog in the videos on YouTube where the wolves won't approach him because they might they could overpower him, but in the meantime he'll like crunch like 5 of their heads, but they know that and they always stay away from him. There's only going to be one dog in the world, and that's most likely going to be the Bricks. It's no big deal, and we're going to be probably working with them. That's what the guy was telling me about. I didn't realize what he was telling me about at the time, but that's it. Okay.
yeah.
And I
And
heard
was that 25 or 23? I thought he had told you about 25.
Well, he said right around 23, and I said, was
Okay.
it set in stone? I remembered asking that question because I like numbers, and he said, no, we're shooting for that for sure. But, different things happen, and I do believe they got slowed down and what they were doing, but anyways, it's all right. A lot of people don't realize what's happening in the world, and I mentioned this before, and Mark talked about a little bit one time. Everybody thinks oil is the same, okay, and that's one thing that isn't true. We got it's called sweet oil in the unit. What is it? Sweet crude in the U.S.
Yeah, sweet crude.
Yeah, down in
Easier to
Venezuela.
refine. Well, it is in Texas. It's not the same level of crude that you got in like Pennsylvania, West Virginia. That it's got more paraffins there, but
Yeah, and Venezuela's got something called sour crude, which they really, really need. And we've got these refineries that's what they need to run. Oh God, I just let that cat out of the bag. Well, anyways, so we don't have that oil. They got that oil in Venezuela, tons of it. That just everything's going to work out. Everybody, everything's all in progress. Everything's kicking ass. And the one thing is that's weird is the longer this goes, I know there's got to be somebody in the world that's going to be what do they call it, the third world. Do you guys believe that at all, Lucas and Mark?
what do you mean that somebody has to be the third world?
Well, they don't have to be, but I think to the start of this, the changing over to the Bricks running the show is that I think they got to have a third world almost, but it's not going to be Africa, you guys. They're going to be Africa reminds me of the U.S. coming up after the Civil War. They're going to just kick ass for the next 75 years. I hate to say it, but I think Europe is going to be in a little bit of trouble here. I think.
Yeah, I won't argue that one.
I'm not. It's not going to be us. That's too bad for them. But, anyways, I don't live there, so that's not my fight. Sorry, Mark. I didn't mean to. God, I don't know. I get so much stuff going in my brain, And when somebody tells you this, all of a sudden you start looking at everything now, and that's what I did this morning, and it's like, oh my God, it's all coming to a head pretty quick here.
It really is. All right. Speaking of coming to head, though, let's.
I hope that
pivot
didn't
to
take too
CBD.
long. I'm sorry, guys.
No.
But,
I think they need to know because based on his timing, roughly, all right, normally an empire like this, well, the monetary system like this lasts roughly 100 years. And about 50 years ago, it appears they started planning for when that changes halfway through that cycle, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah, they're always planning ahead. And one thing that it was really interesting, I said, did it have to end? And he goes, no. He says, he goes, the world takes turns. And I go, okay, I get it. Okay, so it's their turn now. They're going to be running the empire for who knows how many years. And with computers, they might run it forever. I have no idea. Okay, let's get back to the real world that I can't control. Or the other world.
Do you want to
control this world?
Yeah. Do you want to do the do you want to do the specials and then we'll do questions?
Yeah.
Finalize with some questions.
Yeah, I'll do them real quick, you guys. Okay. And I got my computers up and running, so I don't sound like a goof like yesterday. But anyways, okay, no, it just went dark again. Okay, oh my God, here we go. So they're messing with me. Okay, so if you want to get into order, you go to thecbdgurus.com. THECBDGURUS.com. Okay, and then when you get in there, you're going to see the wholesale on the top. And when you hit that, it's going to say MarkZ, the king of the wholesale for the gurus right there. Right on. Okay. And then if you have a little box that pops up, you put in lowercase KRAMCBD. And then you're all set. Okay. So we started yesterday. There's products down below, and they'll be listed with the products. You either get 20,000 dong with each one, or you get 20,000 rupiah. And the reason I did both is because I had a half a supply of both. Okay. So, and I think they're going to be about equal anyway. That's just my opinion. I don't know what the deal is going to be, but they're kind of one's country's got about 300 million. I don't know what the other one has, but they're both kicking ass. They're top countries in the world for the last, who God knows how many years, 25 years now. So I think they're both in the top 10. And yeah, Trump, he was over talking to the Indonesian guy. Remember they had that love fest about 3 weeks ago? So anyways, yeah. So, okay. So if you get those products, and then if you need to get the discount codes, which you all need, so put that in at the end, in the where it says when you're checking out, if you have a code DEC15 for 15% more off, plus the currency. And then when we go down, we've got the Miracle Gold with the currency. We've got the Miracle Gold with THC Dynamite product. That helps my feet. I use that. Probably, I use it as much as I should, and I love it. I use the regular Miracle Gold, and that's got the currency on it. Sleep gummies, the coffee's got it on it. And what's it? Oh yeah, we've got coffee, CBD, non-CBD. We've got the coffee concentrates. We've got a new flavor, peppermint mocha. So you can get 4 of those for $35, and you get the, or you can have a assortment of all 4 of them. They're all great. Okay. And then we've got the little bag of coffee with no CBD in it if you want to buy that and give that to your friends. Oh, that's got some rupiah on it too, 20,000. Mushrooms. Just go down and look at all the specials. Okay, let's get to the questions, everybody. Oh, let's see if you have any products on there that are really it's all our regular products and everything, but we got good specials on them, some currency. I guess we got to get to the questions, huh, guys? Okay.
I think they're ready to ask Lucas a question. It says, my son suffers from anxiety and depression. He needs a gummy that'll help with these issues. What should he be taking?
Man, how old is your son?
Well, one, when I saw that, I'm thinking, well, we know how the lion's mane works for it. Yeah, I don't know how old the son is. That will change a lot of suggestions.
That would change you a lot. And that's why, guys, with any of this, like, definitely consult with your doctor. But I will tell you that, from one thing me and Mark looked at through several medical studies when it comes to things like that was discussed, the lion's mane has had just unbelievable amounts of success. It really has, and even better than like pharmaceutical, with 0 of the side effects. So that is one thing that just does so unbelievably well. Everyone wants to go and navigate toward, like, THC. But one thing that we've seen is that the lion's mane, that mushroom, man, is just phenomenal in that area.
And when I look at that one, I'm thinking to really get to the core things that need to be worked on, the lion's mane. For the symptoms, I could see using Matt's favorite. You don't want to do too much with depression, anxiety, because you can make it worse depending on how that person processes it. So I was thinking the lion's mane and maybe some of his 1 milligram party pack, if THC in the problem. The person's 46. And I'm not a doctor. Ask your doctor if you have any questions. Joyce with a question for you, Matt. How do you mix up or use these coffee concentrates?
Oh, this morning I just made my regular coffee. My wife's, I forget what, she's got about 3 of them in there. I don't know what it was. So then I poured in an ounce of the concentrate. In the afternoon, I'll take the concentrate. That was in my regular coffee. And then I'll take it and I'll pour it in some skim milk with a little ice on it. And I learned from, we'll just call her my relative. She uses a straw when she drinks her coffee, and the cold stuff with the ice. She always does that. She puts ice in there, regular coffee, and so her teeth don't get all messed up because I don't know, I gotta whiten my teeth more. I guess I'm drinking too much coffee, but you can put it in ice cream. I put it in a. It was
I didn't think about that. That concentrate on top of a scoop of vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, I put it on in a no calorie cola flavored seltzer yesterday and the day before. I pour about a half ounce in there for like an energy drink because I'll get it was yeah, I don't even want to give him a plug, but it was that death cola. But so a guy at the warehouse buys it and I just grab them now and then I drink a little bit out and I pour some of that in there to give me a jolt. I think it's better than an energy drink. And it's got to be the mushrooms. I feel like all of a sudden I jazz up, instead of having to take a nap in the motorhome. And then I it makes me go. So I love it. I put it in everything. I try not to do it after dinner, because I did that a couple times here in the last 2 weeks, and then I don't know. It wasn't that I couldn't sleep, I didn't even care. I probably only slept about 2 hours that night because I'm different from other people. If I can't sleep, I'm just going to get up and start doing something because then I'm going to get tired and I can go to sleep. So that's my rule. I learned that from an old football coach. He says, listen, Matt, if you can't sleep, get up and do something until you're tired. Then you'll go to sleep later. And I said, okay. So anyway, but I do take stuff to go to sleep for sure. And I love taking Delta 8 because I dream really, really good. And I love that. So anyway, what was I talking about now? I can't even remember. I got to
We were talking about how you use the coffee concentrate.
Oh God, you can use it in everything. You know what? The kids even, okay, the kids, some younger kids, let's put them that way. They were even sneaking a little bit in their milk, and I caught them, they were over at the house. And I said, I don't know if you guys want to put too much of that in there, because the caffeine, I think it's about 1 ounce, it's 100 milligrams of caffeine. Is that right? Caffeine's in milligrams, you guys, Lucas, Mark?
Yes, caffeine's in milligrams.
So in that bottle, there's about 1,100. So each ounce is that. Hey, you can put in alcoholic drinks. I tried that, a little sampling of that the other day when I was out.
So you definitely do not want to drink that whole container. You only want, 100.
Oh my God, no! Yeah, don't do that. Don't do
There
that.
you go.
12 servings in there, you guys. Just add it, and you can even take some hot water and put it in there. But I'd say put about 2 ounces in there to give it like a 8-ounce cup deal thing, or you can put an ounce in, but whatever you want to do.
P-Tel, does lion's mane have any interactions? That's one you can do a web search for and answer those questions pretty quickly yourselves, but none that I know of. You, Lucas?
Say that again.
P-Tel wants to know if lion's mane has any interactions that they should know about.
I'm sorry, on my ear. Interactions between what?
I mean, would it conflict with a prescription drug or something?
What is this? The black
lion's
seed?
mane.
Oh, lion's mane. I think there potentially are some, but only in extreme cases from what I saw. And this is why, guys, if you are on medication and you do want to switch over to lion's mane or CBD and THC, which, we're 100% for. Like, I got off of all my pharmaceuticals for CBD and THC, as well as the mushrooms. But, there are step processes that need to happen. And along with that, depending on what medication you're taking, your doctor, you just got to find a great doctor that's willing to work with you. I found one that was like, yeah, 100%. Let's, and they created a 2-month plan to get off all pharmaceuticals and get on to, CBD hemp products along with mushroom. So you do have to do it in a smart manner, especially if you're on medication. And that's why you need to work with a really good doctor that can, that has your blood panels, that has, all the information on you, so they can work with you to get you to that place.
Now you're going to enjoy this one. Let me read the possible side effects for lion's mane. Blood thinner. Lion's mane can inhibit platelet aggregation, increasing the risk of bleeding when combined with anticoagulants, meaning that it helps thin the blood. A positive thing for most, unless you're already taking drugs. In other words, it can do it naturally without the other drugs, is what it sounds like to me. Diabetes medication, well, it could be a problem because it may lower your blood sugar levels, potentially causing hypoglycemia when taken with anti-diabetic drugs. I mean, these are all, like, to me, selling points for it, not negatives. Antihypertensive medications. Lion's mane can lower blood pressure, which may lead to additive effects with antihypertensive medication. Sounds like to me lion's mane can replace a lot of prescription drugs, sedatives. It may enhance sedative effects, leading to increased drowsiness because it helps relax you. I love that one. All the possible bad side effects,
Man,
to me,
I
are
was
very
gonna say
positive.
those are some horrible side effects.
It's just horrible that it might improve your health and you might not need your prescription drugs. I mean, definitely work with your doctor because you don't want to transition off or over medicate. But sounds like to me it's a really good thing. Here's a shipping one for you, Matt. Matt, I put my order in November 28th. When should I expect it? I would expect it already there. I don't know where you're at, but
Yeah, the best thing to do is look at your tracking number. Because you can, when you did your order, if you put the email in right, you're going to get a tracking deal. And so then just look at that. Now, if it hasn't came yet, then or if you don't have that tracking number, send over your name and just put in there, hey, can you look up my name, Matt, for on a text and let me know when it's going to arrive, because everybody gets a tracking deal you can just follow. And but I will say, let's see, the 28th. Let's see, we may not get to that order till because the weekend. I don't require the guys to work, especially during December
and Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and
yeah, that was Thanksgiving Sunday.
Oh, it was Thanksgiving. Okay.
Oh no, wait a minute, I'm behind. I'm in the wrong month.
Oh,
yeah, it was the Friday after Thanksgiving, so probably nothing went out until the 1st, till Monday or Tuesday. Yeah,
exactly. So then we were real busy. So I do know the orders started arriving for people on Wednesday, some of them, and but yeah, just follow your own tracking, and then if you don't have that, just send your name over to me, and I'll give you the tracking number. And then so you can follow it. But you should have got that through the email. And unfortunately, I addressed that in the Telegram. Because this happens a lot, but it's 99.99% of the time you don't get the tracking for the email, you guys, on your orders because you put in the wrong digit, or whoever put that order in, it's a wrong digit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's just a fact of life. It ain't no big deal. And then when the email comes, it's got about 10 different categories, especially if you got a Gmail, to go into different areas. So you have to check them all. And that's it. So we'll figure it out. But hey, this time of year, you guys remember the shipping, man, it can get way
it's
late.
the height of the shipping week right now.
Woo. Oh,
of the season.
And I do know for a fact the post office is letting packages sit at every place to catch up, and that'll be like that till about probably the 20th. So just bear with it every year, and it's getting worse. We laugh about that. I'm at the post office all the time. When I used to work as a mailman, I used to do about 2 packages a day. Now they're doing 500. I don't even know how the guys do it. They're just so overworked. It's unbelievable. This time of year, it's horrible.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Tina wants to know what helps with muscle cramps all the time. Lucas, do you have any ideas on that one? I do not.
Man, muscle cramps. I mean, obviously hydration, potassium, and sodium are the largest ones and the largest problems when people do have muscle cramps. So making sure you're well hydrated and that you have the correct electrolyte balance in your system is by far the best.
All right, we got that suggestion. Polycolly. Oh, I guess that one really, I don't need to read that one. That's not a question. That's a statement of how well something's working for her son. The basically a 5 milligram gummy. He cuts it 10 and a half. I love this one. Bob said, my oncologist was happy to see my PSA count drop from 76 down to 3. Told her I was taking the 5 mushrooms.
Ooh,
I've heard
That's
so many
awesome.
similar stories from people in our community that have been taking them where their PSA numbers just drop drastically. I think that is just, I think you guys know that's awesome.
it is. It's
It
great.
is. And I mean, it's not only awesome hearing it, but I'm sure that when you actually go to your oncologist and those numbers are that small, like just the overall bloody excitement is probably beyond words.
Definitely. Yeah, all kinds of people making extra suggestions for the muscle cramp one. Hopefully she is reading the chat. Donna said the lotion 2000 massaged in for leg cramps help. I could see that definitely helping. Gladys, I have low thyroid and gastritis. Wait, whatever that word is. What should I take for that? Do you have any suggestions, Lucas or Matt?
Probably Miracle Gold. Lucas, I'm not sure, but it seems to help everything. But I don't know.
I'm not sure on that, Mark.
Yeah.
Especially with the thyroid, because that can be several things. It depends if it's really deals with the calcification of the thyroid, because that can be a symptom that a lot of people have. But there's also like 2 or 3 other variables as well. So I just without more info, I don't know if I could say anything.
Yeah. On that one, all my quick research, my 2 seconds of it is screaming cordyceps for your thyroid. So that's interesting. Have to do more research on that one for certain. Miss Linda is asking, has been taking Miracle Gold for years. Do I need to get off of it for a while?
I mean,
And what would be good for an essential tremor?
I mean, honestly, like the Miracle Gold, like, I may go off of it for a few weeks, but I mean, I'm on it pretty frequently as well. As long as your blood work comes back great, I mean, I don't see really a problem that you have with that. So, yeah, obviously making sure you're doing the correct maintenance. And then you're saying tremors?
Essential tremors.
Man, there's just go and look at all these videos on just these crazy amount of
THC and
videos from THC, Delta 9, and tremors is just absolutely unreal. I mean, it's actually really, really cool to see.
Let's squeeze in one or two more quickly if we can. Rick says, I have TBI. Is there anything that helps?
Ooh. I don't know if I could say anything on the TBI, Mark, because it's like, what's the TBI from? How severe
Yeah, I
is
mean, for
it?
me, because of the repair, the nerve, the myelin sheath, all that, I'm going to scream lion's mane, but I really don't know enough. Lion's mane, certainly structural, give it what it needs to fix itself or to compensate, but I just don't know enough about, don't know what to answer for that one.
That's a hard one.
But I would definitely consider lion's mane. There's enough research there that a doctor would have to be remiss to not say, hey, it's worth a shot.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Lucas, you sound pretty good.
If I sound good, that's definitely not how I feel.
Now he's starting to fade a little bit. I can tell. We've worn him out in just 45 minutes. So we'll go quick and get him resting again. The important final question for you: are there going to be any Christmas pants this year, Matt? You don't share like a building anymore with those people.
No, but I can get them from them. It's not a problem. They're pretty close to me, but no, not this year, you guys. It's no, it just wasn't in the cards. We were too busy here because you got to order those ahead of time. and we were so busy moving over and everything, and that was a chore, and yeah, that was a lot of work. You know, it's not like moving furniture. You could just have a moving company come in and move all your furniture and everything. But our deal, we got about 100 something products, and you got to move them to the right spots. And
Ship station, inventory, organization. Yeah, no, that's not the same.
No,
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it was, but it's all done now, so that's good. And we're over into the beautiful state of Wisconsin, and the Wisconsin people are very nice people. Minnesota people are very nice people when you get out of, in general, not everybody, when you get out of Minneapolis and St. Paul. But God, you take away those two cities, and Minnesota's probably like Wyoming or Montana or something. You know what I mean? Or South Dakota.
Sparsely populated.
Yeah, it's just too damn bad. And everybody within 20 miles, you know, a straight line out of Minneapolis and St. Paul just isn't. They don't turn the whole rest of the state into South Dakota. It'd be great. But anyways, I wish. That's my wish. That's my fantasy wish for Christmas this year.
All right. I know this sounds, but it is a little bit funny. Matt, Minnesota Vikings are changing their name. They'll now be the Somali Pirates.
Well, yeah, the Vikings suck, man. And that's all right because I've always liked the Packers, man, since the days of the Ice Bowl. I like the Vikings a lot. Well, not anymore. I'm a Packer fan, 100%. I was at the Packer game. I was wearing what's his name's jersey, number 1. God, I forget his last name now. He's a great defensive end. He had 2 sacks that game. God, it was great. And I only I had the jersey on, but I made some bets at the casino. All 3 of my bets involving him, they struck gold. And not gold, but, you know, I won the bet. Everybody else around me, all the parlay bets, they all lose. And I just said, no, I'm taking him. God, what's his last name? I can't even remember it now.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's that?
I can't answer that one.
But he's a defensive end. Somebody will put it in chat. But yeah, he reminds me so much of my brother that used to play football. My brother, when he's in college, oh my God, he had like 118 sacks. You know, he was unbelievable. But I just love watching those defensive ends cream the quarterback, just cream him, you know, and he does it. So yeah, that's cool. So, anyways, I can picture you guys playing that way too when you played. So, no, just kidding. I think Lucas was a nose guard or something.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we need to get moving, guys.
Hey, Mark, have a good weekend.
Get some rest, Lucas. Matt,
I'm going to try. Thanks, guys.
Hey, thanks for having us on, Mark.
You're welcome.
Good day. Take care. All right.
And again, the CBD gurus are such a big part of the program, or of the community. Let's get into some news while we have the opportunity. Let's go to Iraq. Again, folks, if you weren't here early, still very quiet on the bond side. It is going to be very interesting very beginning of the week as we start getting updates to find out if everybody got what they expected, if they know their timing. Very, very, very upbeat bond contacts that are expecting all of that liquidity in the coming days. I know. Sounds like we've heard that one before, but it will be true one day. Is this the week it'll be, or this coming week, will it be the week that it's true? Kurdistan oil exports to Turkey, Sayan, continue to hold steady at 190,000 barrels. Steady, moving. Finances are going where they're supposed to. HCL is coming along, continues to be stable. We're moving in the right direction. Iraq's oil exports record highest level during November 2025, pumping 3-point-some million barrels a day. Most days, 3.5, 3.2. Things are going well on that front, especially with what they're now moving out of the Kurdish region. Instead of moving it illegally with smugglers, it's now moving legally with money going to the government and the people instead of a few corrupt people's pockets. Big changes in Iraq. Supports the value. These are things they need to do to be able to do that. The presidency of the Republic of Iraq, we learned the decision. Oh, this one was funny, to classify the Houthis Hezbollah. That stink where naming them terrorist organizations. Iraq didn't name them one. That is an international organization named them that. And Iraq is just saying, look, man, it's not our fault. We didn't call them that, but the world has called them that, and there are international sanctions, and we don't have a choice. They're just playing the politics on this one. The reality is they will get cleaned up. They just have to deal with the political football. Trump re-engineering the Middle East and drops Iraq's card. What do you mean by that? Front 29-page document shows Trump policy is driven above all by what is good for America. What does that mean? Because we got a couple of stories here. Baghdad Today publishes Trump's Middle East strategy. Strategy's changing in the Middle East. More than that, it's changing all over the world. Big conversation in the Middle East and probably many of the Americas today is this drop by Donald Trump and his organization. Trump's new national security strategy key takeaways. Chop's Place, I cannot thank you enough. That is over the top. Thank you for that. Let's get back into Trump's new national security strategy. We're done engineering countries. We're done trying to change them. They are what they are. We have to accept that, and then we can decide whether we can work with them or not. We don't need to go in and try to change everything about them, their society, their culture, their wants, their desires. It's kind of up to them. It's all part of being sovereign. As long as they're not, human rights violations, let them figure it out if they want to live in a place with Sharia law or something like that. Stop trying to change it for them. Protect our own, keep our own culture what it is, protect our borders, start vetting so we only accept people that want to come to a society like we have created, or some of the key values that we hold, go back to and cleaned up. In other words, he's saying not going isolationist, but we're going to go non-interventionist. We're going to stop meddling with everybody's country, culture, color revolutions, and all that crap. We're going to focus on us and the Americas. We're going to focus on the Western Hemisphere. This is a massive change in direction from the globalist policies we have seen in the past. I find it very encouraging because it shows that he is remembering that it is America first, which the same thing should be going on in other countries. Not saying they should be America first, but they should be their own country first. I know it's been a while since I've used it, but I've used it a lot. My example, your local school's burning down. Students are trapped inside. Your children go to school there. You can rescue, let's say, 30 kids. Can't rescue them all. Which kids do you rescue first? You don't stop trying to help other kids, but which kids do you rescue first? Your own, or you're a crap parent. Period. So that's the whole America first or country first or nation first or sovereign first. However you guys want to look at that one. You got to take care of your own first before you help others. Doesn't mean you don't want to help others. Don't mean you don't have a great heart for humanity, all those things. Just means you got to prioritize what you help first. You got to be responsible as a parent. Same thing as a politician. They should take care of their constituents, their country, their people first, and then as many others as they can help. Massive change in direction. And I think this is important as we come into this setting. Foreign policy, Middle East, all they want to do is contain Iran. Iran's contained. Influence doesn't spread. Axis of terror stays put. Let them do their thing. They want to blow each other up. Let them do their thing. As long as it doesn't interrupt energy stability for around the world, because that causes all kinds of problems. That causes problems everywhere. Let's say there is upheaval. Energy doesn't flow to a certain area. Even though we create all we need, we can keep energy prices low. But another country falls apart. They're not farming. Now suddenly there's shortages of food around the world that does affect other countries because it's going to make the cost go up everywhere else. So as long as things stay stable on that front, the U.S. is like, look, let's just back off. We don't need it. The Trump administration taking that approach. About daggone time, because that is common sense. I am very encouraged in the last 24 hours of seeing the changes. Yeah, I kind of like that one. Like, put your oxygen mask on first, then help others. Let's see, Susie. Some are saying that Tier 4B, the internet groups, are getting to go to appointments. They're not going to appointments yet, Susie. There are way too many people out there jumping the queue, trying to convince everybody that things are further along than they are. Things are great, but they're a little premature on that one. Reading a few of those. I know I need to wait. Let me turn this one off. We've got a little more news to get through, but let's just back up on that front. We did the Hezbollah. We did all that back and forth. The new Trump approach. Iraq is part of it in the Middle East. They want basically Iraq and Saudi Arabia, and they're hoping that they will embrace Syria and bring them up to speed. They want to use that as a calming factor, a rudder in Middle East politics. And they want to get out of trying to engineer countries. His point is Trump's like, we're spending billions and billions, hundreds of billions, trillions of dollars, and we're not getting anything done. We're getting very little return from a dollar. We're going to get our return from Iraq, and then we're going to stop monkeying in the Middle East. Let them do their thing. Love that approach, finally. He's going to treat it as a business. We're going to treat those relations as a business. Instead of trying to change their nation, we're just going to say, hey, do we want to work together on business? Leave it there. Great change in approach. We did all those. All right. Dollar General plans to open 450 new stores in the U.S. in 2026. Sales are up massively at the discount stores, just like Walmart is growing while Target is shrinking. Seismic shift in economy. The world seems to be preparing to tighten its belt for a few years to get responsible, fiscally responsible. So they need to spend less, get more bang for their buck, not waste money. And that is being seen here. Just like the restaurants that are doing well are the value added ones. I mean, Denny's getting ready to close all kinds of locations. So as we watch this, we are seeing a shift. We have seen this many times throughout history. Just learn from it. What have we learned from these shifts? That if you get responsible, focus on more of what's important. And I would like to do this, guys. I know I cover the news. But we need to remember to live. Turn the news off sometimes. Maybe get it. Don't focus on it 24 hours a day. All your waking hours, losing your sleep, guys. Get the overview. Stay familiar with what's going on in the world, but plug into the world around you, meaning plug into family, plug into taking a walk, plug into petting the cat, whatever it is, time with your significant others or the significant people in your life. When we study human nature and we go through these cycles, a lot of people lose their mind because they forget to ground in the real world. I think that is very important. Turn off the stinking television sometimes. Turn off YouTube. Turn off me. Go hang out with a human being. Go talk to your next door neighbor. Slow down, pray. Exactly. Joyce, some of your best advice. Ignore the news and news media. And you're easier to control when you're all wigged out and terrified. The world can go crazy, but it's going to be okay. Link for Red Light, myredlight.com. Now we're going to keep running. Dollar General, that's just a change in how the world is operating, a move. We're watching it. We know it's coming. We've been in it for a while. The EU slaps Elon Musk's X with a $140 million fine over content rules. Said they can't make certain that they are doing their best on combating misinformation. I get a kick out of some of these because the EU has been responsible for a tremendous amount of misinformation. They're just mad when the misinformation or there's real information that doesn't help them with their own misinformation. I was reading these articles. They're going after Meta 2. The DSA's first 9 compliance decisions as they're going after the European Commission is after social media platforms. Not allowing real free speech. They have to be able to control it. Well, this isn't the proper narrative. People can't think. The biggest part of this lawsuit comes over the EU is claiming that the way that the blue check mark for verified accounts is done is deceptive. It's not 100% clear for people. So they might think it's an official site when it's not really an official site. So what the EU is saying are that Europeans are too stupid to know when it's a real site. They're too stupid to do their own research. They're too stupid to know anything. They need their government to hold their hands and tell them what to think. I mean, that's the way I read this one. If I were a European citizen, I'd be really pissed off to the EU that they think I'm that stupid, that I'm not smart enough to tell whether somebody is copied, whether it's a real blue mark, whether they've just kind of posted it down in the chat somewhere so it looks like it's a blue mark. European Union just came out to the world and said Europeans are too stupid to think for themselves. I don't think they're too stupid to think for themselves, but your governments think you're too stupid to think for yourselves. Or better yet, they are absolutely terrified that you might think for yourself. That's how I read that article. Lynn, that's exactly what Ursula wants. It's exactly what she learns. Oh, Turd Ferg. Joined late. Packers #1 is Micah Parsons. The only defensive player other than Reggie White with at least 10 sacks every season. Ooh, I know exactly who you're referencing now. Micah's better with black and yellow. We talked about the national security strategy and the massive shift. That would also explain why Trump seems to be more interested in drug interdictions. We're trying to get things settled in Venezuela. This sudden push that he has with Panama's leader, El Salvador's leader, Argentina's leader. This should have been done 50 years ago, 100 years ago. We should have been focusing in the Americas. We should have been focusing on infrastructure going from Alaska, Canada, all the way down to the very southern tip of Peru and Argentina. Should be our bastion of sanity over on the American continents. I love watching that change. Now we do. I should circle back to the BRICS thing real quick. Lee, a great little video, and this is easy to verify out there. Number of stories being written on it. Swisher posted, new BRICS group launches a gold-backed unit payment system. It is 40% gold and 60% BRICS currency basket. The unit will allow 30-plus countries to trade precious metals outside of, well, what? Federal Reserve SWIFT system with asset-backed money. This, to me, is the final straw, the one that forces this reset. If you're given a choice which one you can work with, one where they can't restrict it, I could start getting paid theoretically out of any country, doesn't matter, and I could take that money in a BRICS unit and spend it pretty much anywhere in the world. This is your new system, or this is the free market forcing a new system. I love watching this develop. Is it going to be a little unsettled why these things happen? Sure. Any great change in the world's system, banking system, monetary systems goes with some upheaval. But I get very excited about the thought of decentralized money that your governments can't use to control everybody, your behavior. Top Obama DEA official charged with laundering money for Mexican cartel, the Jalisco cartel. Former Drug Enforcement Administration DEA official appointed as deputy chief of the Office of Financial Operations during the Obama administration, who still holds a security clearance, was indicted on Friday on charges of agreeing to launder $12 million for the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, which was designated a foreign terrorist organization in February of this year. Paul Campo, who oversaw the FBI's money laundering operations and resigned in January 2016 ahead of Trump's inauguration, laundered around $750,000 for the cartel by converting cash into cryptocurrency and agreed to launder far more, totaling over $12 million, according to the indictment. Who needs crooks when we got government? We got all the crooks we need. Yeah, nothing surprises me anymore. Now, guys, as I say that, Daniel, no, they don't have a THC coffee. They got a mushroom coffee. Reading some of these, the imprisonment. This happens in every administration. This happens in state administrations. This happens everywhere. Some administrations are definitely more corrupt than others. You can't monitor everything and everyone. There are going to be some folks guilty of that in Trump's administration. Well, maybe not this, and hopefully much smaller, less offensive things. But it'll give you an idea of where we are at as a people, as a government. I'll just run with that one, as a government. Let's see, Dennis. Tier 4B notifications internet group. We're hitting secure channels by down on Sunday. So, yeah, Dennis, a lot of them are saying that. I'm in so many of the groups. I'm familiar with so many of them. Guys, they're not rushing off and making appointments right now. Somebody's way too far ahead on the news. Saw it in my own government office. We have a lot of government employees in here, folks. Very knowledgeable, very plugged in, and they can tell you that most of these stories are disturbingly correct. Disturbingly correct. All right, birthdays. 12 million would be way more than needed to retire. I don't know. 12 million would make a good retirement. Would make a lovely retirement. Sooner D, Sky, Horse Whisperer. Who else is doing a birthday? Anybody else sound off? Rusty, what's going on? We talked about that very first thing out of the gate this morning. Very quiet. Well, I shouldn't say very quiet. They continue to get guarantees, reassurances, etc., that they have a very big week coming up and money is indeed moving. We will find out this week. Do they indeed have it? Do they not have it in Asia? I think if we do, then we can throw our party. Yeah, Burn, a lot of folks, a lot of my Iraqi sources are looking for a December 31st release in Iraq. I think we're just somewhere within a few weeks is what I believe. Just watch it play out. Nobody knows the exact timing. Hey, good for you, Rusty, on the closing. Gary's going to be celebrating 69th birthday on Sunday. Bill, 76 today. So they tell me it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday, darling. May you live, may you love, make all your dreams come true. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. To all those celebrating, happy birthday. I see Debbie's son, 32 today for Dylan. When did kids get this old? When did I get this old? When did this happen? When you wake up and you realize you passed the halfway point, heck, you probably passed the 2/3 mark. Yep. I need a med bed. Love you guys. Mean it. If there's any breaking news, I will be back. If not, I will see you Monday morning at 10. Mods, just ignore the internet till Monday. Have fun. Get some relaxing in. Google it. Enjoy that new, what it would be, a grandniece, I think. Have fun. See you guys Monday.